Hello everyone, today I'm gonna show you how you can try to remove camouflage off of vehicles. So you can use basically a base layer of this where only the rivets and screw are visible, and how you can remove stuff such as decals, so you can basically use this as a template for your own skin. Okay, so this is gonna be very complicated and I'm sorry in advance for that. It will look awful, trust me, but you can at least get a bit of depth out of your vehicle skins. And I use this method fairly often, and the more you experiment with it, the more depth you can get out of it. So first off, what I like to do is make a new layer and choose the base color and basically drop the base color in. And now we are gonna go to our background layer or the original Camo file, duplicate it and lay it above. So this is going to be the file we are editing, we are working with. What I like to do is go to the effect, use hue and saturation, and put the saturation to -100 so we can get a bit better view, because later on when we are editing it will look like scum if we have saturation on, and we don't need saturation for the base layer anyways, as we are going to make our own skin with own saturations and colors. What we are doing now is going for the curves. What we are doing with the curves is trying to match the camo colors with each other, so they basically get a balance out, and I hope I can like show you that in a graph what I mean. Basically you have dark and light, and you're gonna try to match the light with the dark. And for that you're gonna use a curve. The lower part is your original colors, so these are the dark parts, these are the light parts. For example, with the dark parts, when you move this, you can make them brighter. Same goes for the light parts. Here are the light parts. If you move them down, you can make them darker. This is the gradient on that you are editing. You can see the darks are in the darks and the lights are in the lights. When we are going into the view of our camouflage, we can try and search at what point they are matching. For that I like to put multiple points and then start adjusting based on where they are. Now you have to make basically multiple points and try to adjust your camouflage till it matches each other, and trust me, it will look awful, but we are going to just try and match the stuff. Don't worry about these lines yet, we will adjust them later. Okay, as you can see, it's kinda similar now. Don't care about these lines, we will move them later, and I also didn't care about the lower part yet. You can edit that out later on. But what we are gonna do now is, it will get funky, I know, it already looks sketchy as fuck, but just trust it. It's just an easy way to get rivets out of original file and transfer. Now you can kinda group these. For this, just select all and Ctrl G and duplicate it, so we have our preset saved a bit, getting rid of the decals and the lines. You're gonna use the group of the original file again and merge the group like we have before. First thing I want to do is duplicating it, so I have a safe copy. And in Photoshop you have quite nice tools like spot filling brush. What this does is basically it will auto-generate similar areas over the thing you remove, and you can just basically go and draw over it and do that form part. What you're seeing me do here right now are the edges that you can still see after I like remove the camouflage, and can try to like just blend them in. You won't really be able to remove them completely, so yeah, just try to blend them in, or based on the camouflage used as previous, you can also try to edit out other ways. Also, the more detailed you do the graph earlier, the better the gradients. I have to really edit them out, but I'm not doing that. But if you're really good in editing out with gradient, so this is basically how the file looks now. I got rid of most of the lines. I know you can still see off the camo at some points, but that's, like I said, this is the step you can get away from if you just edit more detail than I did, set more points, and like really get into the depth of editing the curve. But yeah, I'm not doing that here. Okay, so now that we have this, I like to duplicate the file again, because what we are now trying to do is removing these decals. because we don't need them anymore. And this can be a complicated step because it's just doing this, but mostly fuck up these rivets here. So what we're gonna do now is after you remove part of the decal, you are switching the healing brush instead of the hot healing brush. Then you can like hover over a point, hold Alt and left click. Then it will kind of recreate the point, and then you can like set rivets on your own. Make sure the mode is either replace or normal, because like this it will blend, and with replace it will completely replace your former text. I'm gonna show you what I mean when I have it on normal, and for example I'm gonna grab it from somewhere down here and go over here. It will just blend in at the corners. If I press replace, it will completely refine the corners and like not try to blend in. So you're just gonna go over this star here base and try. I'm gonna remove it for now. And yeah, this is gonna take time and practice, work out and look good, but trust me, you'll get there. And you can basically just do that with all other stars. If you're lazy, that will like just generate it, yeah, or in obvious part. Okay, looks good. I have removed the detail successfully. So now I'm gonna go into the curves again and adjusting it a bit further to my liking. Okay, I'm just dragging a bit more lights out, getting a bit more brighter areas. And that's about it. Now you have your finished preset, just duplicate it again so you have it kind of like saved. So you basically, if you overwrite it again, you just don't have to do it all over again. That's why I keep doing save. Now you can like basically have it match up to your liking, however you want to be or whatever you want. And now you basically have your finished preset. That's basically all it is to that method. We can save it. That's basically how you can make. I know the editing on that one is terrible, but you get the basic mean on how you can the stuff. At the end of the day, all comes up on how you are able to match the gradient and all stuff, and it's a pretty cheap method, but I hope you can do some stuff with it, figure it out how it can work for you. Yeah, I hope you liked it.